Well, that was super awkward, but it sure got me to my car fast. I got a ride with one of the guys that works in the windshield chip crew. And those guys, I'm sure I've explained it before, they're private contractors. They work neither for MLS nor for Hertz. It's just a little small company that got the contract with Hertz, and they're here most every day filling the chips and windshields. And they handle tint removal. Because sometimes assholes think it's a good idea to put tint on the front windows and windshields. I wish his English was better, because I'd like to hit him up and see about removing this tint. Wow, I did that. I literally put my hand in front of the camera. Go me. I want to hit him up about removing this tint on my front windows, mostly because it's just looking like shit. Like there's chips and stuff in it, and it's kind of milky and crappy, and it's even worse on the passenger window. Yeah, I'm kind of over the tint in my front windows. Front door windows, I don't have tint on my windshield. That's just craziness. And I think it's illegal in Arizona, but as you can imagine, in a state where they do nothing about open drug use at bus stops, they do even less about somebody driving with tinted windshield. Anyway, I would have asked him about it, but yeah, it's pointless for me to ask them about that. That's certainly something Rob can do and probably wouldn't even charge me for. Anyway, I need to get in. I'll take a quick run through the shop just to see who's sitting at the desk. I did have kind of I won't say it's an uncomfortable conversation with Carter, but certainly an awkward conversation with Carter yesterday. Oh yeah, yesterday was definitely a above interesting day at work. Just ran into Keontae coming back from my car, and I shouldn't have just pulled my phone out and recorded audio pointing it at the ground, because I did a whole lot better at summing up what all happened last night for him than I did trying to record it for myself. He's up to date on everything that happened after he left. I gotta go into the office and hopefully have a conversation with Rob before I clock in. I still got a good 15 minutes before I clock in. Well, it's 1:50. I just clocked in, just had a good talk with Rob about what went down last night, and did a whole lot better summing it up for him. I did want to make it clear that he knew that even after Aaron got butthurt about Steve, and then also a little butthurt at me, that to his credit, when he went off working by himself, he did stay busy working. I think that was important, you know that. So I'm over here in body damage. I just wanted to make a note that the blue Hyundai that I was thinking would be great to try to buy, it has left. A couple days ago, it got moved from an incoming body damage line to a sorted for a particular shop line. And the notes changed from going out an estimate from one shop to that estimate had been turned down to an estimate accepted for another shop. So yeah, that Hyundai, not meant to be mine. It's at a body shop now, getting rebuilt. So hopefully I recognize it when it comes back. So I got signed in on the shop. Yeah, there's a sign-in sheet at the shop. That's a thing, and I didn't get to that part in my story, but it's relevant. So just recognize that I got signed into the shop, and that matters. I left 2 shop cars on chargers last night. Since I'm solo at the moment, now seems like a good time to get them off chargers and into the lines. Although there's only one sitting here, so I don't know who moved the other one, but I'm glad it got done. So this one has Inspect PM on the what's it, 90% battery, so charged up. I think this one was down to about 18% when I moved it here yesterday. So it's not like they didn't have other cars to work on, and now when they work on it, it'll be ready to kick out and washed and directly up to be rented versus having to spend a day on the charger. So that's a good thing. I did notice it said TNC on the roof window, back window, lift back window, whatever you want to call it. The windows on a Tesla Model 3 are different than conventional cars. It's a TNC, but I noticed that was in blue writing, and I also noticed evidence of blue dust on the side window. So I think this has already gone through TNC, been kicked out of TNC for remove inspect, and just whoever scraped the window missed that marking on the window where it really shouldn't have been to begin with. So I went ahead and scraped that. And pink line is left lane jammed up, right lane I think has enough space for a Tesla Model 3. Yes, it does. I just gotta try a little harder to get in here because it's a tight space. And that ride I had over with the guy who does windshield chips was a painful reminder that my Spanish has slipped. I mean, used to be I could have a conversation with somebody who spoke that's low level of English, and yeah, it didn't quite happen with him. It was a little bit awkward, but it wasn't as awkward as other encounters I've had with people whose first language is English. So. Anyway, I hope I see that kid again. He was nice, and I really do want to make an effort for my Spanish to be better. The vehicle to the left has its hazard lights on. Probably shouldn't. I'm gonna go check it.
I don't think anyone here knows that they're in the presence of a certified forklift driver. Damn. Certified with my forklift shit. Certified with a forklift. Certified forklift. Certified to be whipping. Certified to be tripping. Yeah, kicked out of the warehouse. Cause I am too ill. Fuck Amazon, man.
They fired
me for being too ill with my forklift. Fuck y'all. Y'all product shit anyway. It's fucking God. It's about certified.
Forklift up in this bitch. It's been a pretty eventful day at work so far, but I'm actually headed to Priscilla's place and then home to try to get my cat Sheba to an emergency room. I hope I'm not overreacting, but I'm just really concerned with how she was this morning when I was getting ready for work and before I headed out. And I would have been really limited as to what I could have done for her without my car. There was things I needed to discuss with Rob regarding what happened last night with Aaron and Steve. So that got handled. New code today said K. I'm assuming that's like the hold code, K for K hold. And kick out, which I didn't, or maybe it was kick back. I tend to get words like that mixed up. Whatever it was, like K hold, kick out, kick back. I thought it might be a good idea when I saw one of those in the gatekeeper to actually call Esther, since she was there and she usually handles that primarily. Thinking, well, maybe she'd give me a good explanation on, like, this is clearly a new code, and give me a brief explanation on what it is and where it goes. And she answered my call. She says, "Hello, Daniel, what's up?" And so that was good, but that's about as far as the conversation was good and functional. Well, I guess I should say the date and time. That would help. Still Wednesday, December 6th, 2023, 3:12 p.m. I already checked traffic, and this is my best route, just I-10 to Loop 202 over to Priscilla's place. The only traffic I expect to encounter
is going to be right when I get on the 10. There's some congestion approaching the mini stack. Yeah, I see cars going that direction in the overpass going. Yeah, they're moving. They're moving a little slower than normal. They're moving. Yeah, I should be fine. I just stay in the far right lanes anyway. I don't merge into traffic going to the 10 as much as I kind of stay on exit and transitional lanes all the way to the 202. So it should be fine. Man, I feel like I should turn on my air conditioning. I can't believe this. We're 6 days in December and it's still summer-ish weather. In fact, there was news. I watched a bit of the news last night while I was taking my break in the break room, where they said it's been getting into the mid-80s yesterday, and it was predicted again for today, and how that was unseasonably warm. The average for this time of year is 69 degrees. It's not unusual for it to be in the mid-70s. I would love it being in the mid-70s. And don't get me wrong, I mean, mid-80s is not uncomfortable, but it is warm. And it's December 6th. God damn. Anyway, enough about the weather. Just thought I'd share that because it's I'm uncomfortably warm in this car right now, and I'm thinking about turning on the air conditioning, which is something I don't normally do on December 6th. And of course I need to turn it off now because that's still asking to overheat my car when I'm sitting at a stop sign like this. So very concerned about my cat, and I only briefly mentioned the cat earlier. I feel really guilty right now. This is one of those points where I'm being a little, wow, I'm turning to my right and getting super distracted because it's not very often I stop right here. And am I stopped enough to move my phone so y'all can see it? Yes, I am. This is where the traffic light signals shop is for the city of Phoenix. I love that there's a street sign of the current style, the light up style, that says traffic signals. Obviously that's not the name of the road, that's a demo that the city of Phoenix shop is using to probably show people how to put them together. Every time I look over to that, I get massively distracted by that. And every now and then, if you've been watching this vlog for any length of time, you see me just completely derail and sidetrack into a discussion about traffic light poles and the history of traffic light poles in Phoenix and the way the street signs have changed and that stuff. That's something I've always been very fascinated about since I was a little kid, like say 3 years old little kid. Someday I'd like to learn more about that shop and see what it would take to get a job there, because there's part of me that thinks that might be a dream job for me. In some ways, the job I have right now, certainly not a pay, but in some ways the job I have right now is like a borderline dream job. I really love what I do right now when everything's going well. And for the most part, I think everything's going really well right now. I had a great discussion with Rob, which I mentioned briefly earlier, and I did see Aaron coming to the lot. I have no idea what was done with Aaron. I don't know if he's attempting to do maintenance by himself right now. I don't know if well, that guy's in a hurry in his killing machine truck. Wow. So I have the green light, but I have nowhere to go. And some people forget it's illegal to block an intersection. I'm sure there's people behind me getting pissed off right now. But I have nowhere to go to. So it would be wrong for me to go right now in spite of the fact I have a green light. Now once this guy in the left goes, I like that he was stopping. Of course, now I got people pulling in from behind. Really, assholes? Fucking asshole maneuver on those people there. All those people pulling out from behind me instead of waiting their turn for me to go, so I could go into the left lane once the left lane became available. That's all good. I managed to squeeze in behind that Porsche, and I'm going. Yeah, I've noticed, like with most drivers, the number one driving force behind them seems to be impatience. And the number one driving force behind people when they're driving should be, the number one priority should be safety. At least that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. Anyway, this is the lane I need to be in, so it's probably better going forward. Am I in a hurry to get to the so-called girlfriend and then get to the cat and get to the emergency room with the cat? Oh yes I am. But if I get in an accident on the way there, that's now helping me, and it's not helping the cat. So yeah, safe driving always a priority. So as I was saying, Rob, I don't know what he did with Aaron. I did see Aaron come into the yard. He didn't link up with us. And by us, I mean Keontae driving a Shag, and me and Kali and Chris rolling. And while those guys don't particularly recognize me as a boss per se, they all do respect that I seem to be better than probably any other maintenance driver at regularly maintaining contact with the shop and getting the latest on what to do with new procedures, new holds, things that are appearing on windows that ain't appeared on windows before. The new one today was K and either, I think it was turn back. Turn back is one word. I'm going to explain more about that later, at least I'm going to try to. The response I got from Esther, while it did tell me what to do with the one I had immediately, it was very difficult and not helpful. Yeah, she said, well, put it over there by that white car. And she gestured in a direction where there were more white vehicles than I could count. And the thing she was calling a car wasn't even a car, it was a GMC Acadia, which is an SUV. Her and I just do not communicate well. I did manage to see Dan. It was kind of funny because I had kind of got everybody, the three guys that were rolling with me, on the same page of, hey, what we need to do now next, since we've got all the cars moved, is we need to find somebody who will give a sensible explanation of what's going on with this new K-hold. So we all are on the same page of what to do with that. Because I think at that point we were sitting on one, but surely, you know, two have happened in that short period of time, there's going to be more. And that's kind of where we're headed. Like, we're taking vehicles down to put away, but then the next stop is we got to go in the shop and try to find somebody I can talk to get a good explanation on that. And I got super lucky. Dan was in the Fleet area on the golf cart as I was driving by, and so I usually always stop and say hi to Dan anyway. The first time, first time I see him in the day, and kind of touch base, because sometimes he has things he wants to tell me as someone who's sort of the lead of sorts for night shift maintenance. And nice butt. So I mean, that's kind of my focus there, of like stop and touch base with him. But I particularly was figuring he'd be the person who'd give me, certainly on my short list of people that would give me a proper explanation for what the K-hold is, and he gave me a wonderful explanation that went above and beyond what I needed. And I could go into more detail about that, and actually with this red light's a good time to do it. I never noticed that camera on the right. See that white camera on the right side of the traffic pole that's facing me? I've never noticed that before, and I'm thinking that's new. Now I want to review some other vlogs of me going through that intersection and see like how long that's been there that I haven't noticed it. But I really genuinely think that's new. Guy in the left lane going super slow. Good enough reason for me to pass him on the right. We're coming up on the park, the little itty bitty green space park that the city of Phoenix sold to a private property owner, developer, whatever, that's sort of turning into a homeless encampment again. Looks like there's somebody here working on it. There's a guy on a cell phone and a safety jacket. I don't know. He could just be a random person that's there, you know, contact his boss or girlfriend or whatever. But yeah, the encampment has been right here on the left of the sidewalk. It has moved on. They're gone. They're right there at that little bit of sidewalk that ends on the left there. So Phoenix PD has come and moved them along. It's a good thing. So the explanation I got from Dan is what that means is that particular car is not owned by Hertz. I learned something new today. I assumed every car that I drove was owned by Hertz. That's a pretty major thing to learn about Hertz. Not every vehicle is owned by Hertz. Many of the vehicles that Hertz has, and this shouldn't come as a real surprise to me, are leased by Hertz. All right, we're having some issues with the chicken lane right now. This person's trying to turn left into the little strip mall to my right, but she's so close to me that I can't really see oncoming traffic behind her to make a safe left turn myself. And I'm worried I might be doing the same thing to her. Oh, him. There's a lot of facial hair there. Generally speaking, I can't see through glass. It has to do with that, and I'm almost Priscilla, so I had to wrap this up. But I'll be back. Thanks for watching.